that in a fraction of a moment at 20 feet, I made my decision about the way you look, and you've made the decision about the way I look. That fast. That fast. But how do we judge the world? Remember that earlier slide? If you could do that, Doc, I would be happy. But would you? Because has it made a professional social impact? You all are professionals out there. Have I made an impact for you? No, I haven't. I haven't. Because then I pull Gladwell's other book, Tipping Point, which means I got to get enough change to look great. And that means a lot of little things. So what is a 5% rule? This is my idea. If you come in to get your brows up there, I'm not going to do it. If you just want this tucked up, I'm not going to do it. What? You're not going to do it? You're going to take my money? No, I'm not going to take your money. I want my cheeks out to there. Nope, sorry. I want this fold just filled. Okay, well then I probably will do it if it's just a little filling thing. But my goal is to say that if I can improve the brow by a small margin, the lower eyelids by a small margin, the anterior cheek by a small margin, the lateral cheek by a small margin, the buccal transition, what? Yes, buccal transition by a small margin, and I'll speak English in a moment, the anterior chin by a small margin, the pre-jowl sulcus by a small margin, and I achieve 70% success, God forbid, we'll all fail at that rate, right? But 70% success in 20 to 30 areas, you look good. And remember one thing, we don't age in an eye bag. We age in little tiny pieces everywhere in transition points. So I have to have you rethink this from the ground up. How long does it last? Was there a question about that, Janelle? Here's the answer. It's written in the sky. Let's talk about it. How are you going to respond to me psychologically in your first year if you do have this done? Doctor, I think you're a fool. You're crazy. 1 week out, 2 weeks out, this is not right. 3, 4 weeks, I'm in love with you. You're the best guy that's ever happened to me. It's a very stormy relationship. And my goal is to show you how you're going to respond to me. At 3 months, doctor, you're crazy again. You're a dip. Now, the dip means that you're going to dip to the point you may not like it. I know you're thinking why. We've finished the why. No, I'm just joking. We're going to go back. But we get better over 2.5 years. What? I heard fat doesn't last. My friend had it done over in San Antonio. My other friend had it in Denver. Your friend, I always say a Hyundai and a Ferrari are both cars with 4 wheels. So do you want to say they're the same car? Because if not, I'll sell you a Hyundai for $250,000 and there's a waiting list for my Hyundai. The point is, don't use a label and condemn it. Condemn the person doing it. Okay? Because this is not the same. Why does this occur? Let's get to the why. Let's go back in time for a moment to understand this. Hair restoration, I do a lot of it, but I want you to understand that I really thought about this, and this is an original idea that I think all the time. And I go back and I say, if I put a graft in, graft doesn't grow all of a sudden. It's not like you just put a hair graft in and it starts growing. It takes 6 months. Why? It needs blood supply. A fat graft, initially with a little shock of swelling for the first 1 or 2 weeks, looks too full. And it's not a result. And then it dips at 3 months. You know what the other doctors do? It's gone. Let me fill it up. And then they have pigs at 2 years. It's not right. Or they don't know what they're doing. They don't have a result in 2 years. I get consistently excellent results, and I stand behind my work. The next thing is thinking about this is that, what's that dip phase? When the fat cells shrink a little bit, and then they come up again. And they continue. And in my hair restoration work, 6 to 12 months is the magic window. But it continues to trajectory improve up to 18 to 24 months. But what happens after that? You lose a little more hair, just like you lose a little more volume. This is now 1 month out. Bit too cheeky, but not bad, okay? And 3 months, not a big dip. Not everyone dips. About 80% don't. But no matter if you dip or you don't, you look better about a year to 2 out. 6 months out, maybe there's a slight dip, but it gets better over time again. At 11 months, it's better. And at 15 months, I think it's about the best. And this is no incisions, this is no pulling, and this is permanent. How do I correct procedures? I do the opposite. Haven't I just told you the whole night about the opposite from beginning to end? I've done the exact opposite from the first slide. So I just opposite the person that did it. So if you look at someone, this is no makeup to no makeup 1 year, overlifted brows, over-articulated eyes, over-sucked out cheeks, over-sucked out chin, I've just blended it. It's not a perfect result. These are improvements. They are not perfect. So here's another example. of over-implanted cheeks, over-lifted brows, and the identity's been robbed. And if you saw her on TV with the Channel 8 News, Fox News, she said, her mother said, "I have my daughter back." I think that's a powerful thing. And her brother cried when she saw her when I finished. To me, that's great, because it's rethinking it. All right, we're going to have a few gravies now. This is the little bonus stuff. We're almost done. Just finishing up. What else? We've had enough of this, okay? Let's just talk about, I'm not going to get through a lot of stuff. I'm just going to do a few things. Giveaways. No, not freebies. We're talking about things that give you away after the face. It's your hands. I did my mom's hands. So it's just balancing the two areas of your body that are exposed without clothing. I mean, with clothing, excuse me. Got carried away. So it's just putting a little fat in there. My mom's hands are 2.5 years out. So it's just another bonus thing that I can do to make you look better. So is there gravity? I thought you just told me there's no gravity. Yeah, the only thing that has gravity is the lower face. So we need to rethink this. Brows being lifted and cheeks being lifted are probably excessive in 99% of people. I do a brow lift probably once a year, and it's a small temporal lift in someone that has hooding. But that is about it. So is there gravity? Yes! I'm not a purist. I'm not a reductionist. I want you to see the big picture, though. So, you know, if the neck needs lifting, we're going to lift it. And that's going to be how, though? How are we going to lift the neck? Not back, vertical. How do you avoid a pullback? Is you just don't pull it back. Interesting? Long talk. I just want to introduce a concept tonight. So verticals. Verticals are important. And what else besides verticals? Small incisions. Because what I want you to see is curves are the key. How do you do a scar revision on someone that has a bad, ugly scar? You make it so curvy you can't see it. It's a curve here, 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 here. And if you make it curve under a 2.5 magnifying loop, you can't see it. In addition to that, how about I don't remove any of your hair? What? How about instead of making a 6 centimeter incision, I make it 2 millimeters that ends right here? Would that be better? Of course. Because you know what, it looks terrible and I have to go transplant 20% of my patients, we're going to get there, I transplant their hairs because after brow lifts and after facelifts, why are they taking hair out? Because doctors don't understand hair patterns. They make them look frightening. This is the book I wrote on fat transfer, so I've written 2 books on this. And I want you to understand one thing. Is it artistry? Is it expertise? Is it technique? It ultimately means that it's this. And I leave you with a quote by Jobs. You've got to find what you love. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life. And the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking, don't settle. And I want to leave you with that thought. This is my life. This is everything I love. I think about it, I live it, and I get more excited than my patients. They come back, you're not that good, this is okay. And I'm in love with it. I'm in love with what I do. So that's, if anything I can relate to you, is that this is not trivial to me. And if it's trivial to you, then don't be my patient, it's okay. I'm very serious about this. So I thank you for your attention tonight.